Hey friends, in this video I'm going to show you how you can save Clay credits when you're trying to perform a Google search inside of Clay. And for those of you that may not be familiar already, if you click on the top right corner and click on add enrichment, and if you type in Google search, then this action of performing a search or finding and enriching a person from a Google search can cost you up to 2 Clay credits at a time, which in my opinion is just a complete rip-off, especially if you can do this elsewhere completely for free. So without further ado, what we're going to do over here is I'm going to show you how to use this tool, which is called Serpa Dev. And up to this point, I still do not have any affiliation with them. So all you have to do is basically type in Serpa Dev, and you get in the free trial, you get 2,500 Google searches completely for free. So once again, like no reason not to try it out. Unfortunately, I do not have an affiliate link to plug you here, but all you have to do is click on serpa.dev. And once again, you can look into their pricing and stuff. It starts at $50, and you probably would not need more than 50,000 Google search credits. Let's be real here. And as soon as you go on their website, you can sign up for an account. And as soon as you sign up for an account, your account would look something like this. The magic thing that we're looking for over here is the API key, and this will be used later down the line. But for the time being, I want you to go to Playground. Now, the Playground over here, make sure that you turn all this stuff to curl. Once again, I'm not a nerd, I'm not too technical, but I can set this up myself, so that means you can too as well. So all we now need to do is I'm going to show you a use case of how you would use this, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to connect Serpa to the platform. So over here, we have a list of people. We have their full names, right? So we have the full name of the person, and we have the company where they work at. And the Google search that we're trying to perform is basically we're trying to find out, we're trying to Google, let's say, Tim Jakobsen. So we're basically trying to perform this exact Google search that I'm going to show you right now. And you can read for yourself now, which is basically the full name of the person, the source to be LinkedIn. So this will prioritize any searches that have LinkedIn as the website, and then it should include the company website. So in most cases, if you only have the person's full name and their company domain, but you don't yet know their LinkedIn profile, this could be one way that you would do it. So now we're going to do this at scale inside of Clay using this HTTP API request that we're going to set up over here. So if you're doing this from scratch, all you have to do is click on Add Enrichment in the top right corner, type in HTTP API, and click on that. And you can click on Browse Templates. And if you type in the template here, Serpa should be an option. So you can see Serpa Dev for Google scraping. And all you need to then basically add to it is some of these details. So let's set this up from scratch. And you can see over here, you first of all have to select a post request. So the method will be post because you're trying to post the information here, right? The endpoint, you're going to copy and paste the endpoint from inside of the playground, which you can find over here. And the endpoint is basically the location, which is this thing over here. You're going to copy and paste it directly, and voila, you'll be, I'm just going to do it again. So here you are, right? At that moment in time, we can now see that this is the body, and you're basically going to go back into the playground, and you're going to then copy and paste this body over here. So this will be the data. So you can see the data over here, and you're going to copy and paste this entire thing, right? And for the actual request that you want to perform, just basically make sure that you have these curly brackets. It starts with a curly bracket, then you have this like quotation mark with a Q and another quotation mark, and then at that moment in time, this is the search that you're going to perform, and you end it with a curly bracket. So basically, everything in between that is whatever that you want the input to be. At that moment in time, you go back to Serpa, you click on API key, you copy the key, and you copy and paste it back into your headers over here. So if you don't have any headers yet, you can basically click on plus for a header, have an X API key, which once again, you can copy and paste it from the playground here. So you're going to copy and paste this, and then this will be the thing on the left, right? And on the right, it will then be the numbers. So these random numbers that you can see over here. Now, the second header we need is content type, and you can see the content type over here. So you're going to copy and paste it, and that will be application JSON. So you're going to copy and paste it here, and you can see the headers that are over here. And then at that moment in time, you're going to save and run 6 rows. And one thing I recommend when you run rows, if the HTTP API request is successful, it will say 200. So if it says 200, you can basically click on it, and you can then click on the results, which is going to be in the organic section. And you can see on 0, if this is correct, it should find the LinkedIn profile of the person based on their first name. So voila, we found Pen Frank, and we found his LinkedIn profile. So this is essentially how you connect Serpa inside of Clay. And a quick disclaimer that in order to be able to connect HTTP requests and the APIs using HTTP API, you need to be on the Explorer plan, which I believe at the moment of recording is about £300 or $349 per month. Hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, as always, my DMs are open, but obviously, if the course is flooded with a bunch of students, I may take a bit longer to reply. So all the best in the meantime, and do give me some feedback if you have any questions. I'm happy to record more and more videos if you find them useful. All the best.